which is Closed on Sunday. So muting the mic. And for those watching, we're going to play Closed on Sunday. Okay, we're on. So, you know the question. Closed on Sunday. Most unexpected thing heard or felt?
That he was singing with his raw voice. He's always added some sort of effect to his voice and stuff, which is the one thing I think that he was kind of like insecure about was, how he sings and stuff. So he always had distortion or whatever, but the fact that he kind of just kept it raw and he was like that the whole album, I think also was something that was done intentionally from I just got this new confidence, I'm not a slave no more to public opinion or nothing. I'm free because I'm a son of God, so I can be me, I guess.
Anybody else?
So I was struck, there was a lyric, a couple stanzas, but he says, when you got daughters, always keep them safe. And so I was struck in that is different than the typical misogyny that we hear in hip hop. We're not usually talking about women keeping them safe in hip hop, and I can say this clearly because I'm a hip hop fan, and my most difficult situation is my relationship with Too Short music. But so listen, don't blow any whistles, please. Well, right. So we started. That was a steering away from the misogyny of we would keep our daughters safe, but it reinforced the patriarchy that we see in society and in church largely. We're keeping the daughter safe because in the next couple stanzas he talks about raising the sons up in the faith, but we're not talking about keeping sons safe, nor are we talking about raising daughters in the faith. So I'm thinking if we got kids, we need to both make sure that they're all safe and also that we're raising them both in the faith. With the separation of that highlights to me that typical patriarchy that we see with the faith spaces.
And I think becoming a father and having a daughter, it just changes your whole perspective on things. And I thought about Nas, his song Daughters, and he's talking about when your son go out on a date, you just proud, and then he said when your daughter go on a date, you standing by the door with a sawed off. And so Kanye's having that same perspective, keeping your daughter safe. When you look at the history of Kanye's lyrics, you look at the history of hip hop in general, you touched on the misogyny aspect of it, but that whole aspect of becoming a father, now you have to protect, now you have to provide. It just changes your whole perspective and outlook on life. And you brought up a good point in terms of it was a different view in terms of the daughter and the son. You had to protect the daughter, but then raise up the son. But if you look at some of the stuff that's been happening in the news, we've been seeing some of our young boys being abused in the church. So if we're raising them up, but we're not protecting them, what are we doing?
Well, and then by protecting daughters, but then not giving them the ability to also be raised up into their full selves, right? So that's kind of and again, that is a patriarchal notion that we deal with regularly within church spaces. We have a lot of spaces that are like, ladies can't preach. You can't be in charge of anything. But y'all make up like 75% of the congregation. Make sure you bring that tithe in here, though.
Yeah, bake that
Don't
chicken.
say nothing else. And bake that chicken. Yes, the repast is happening. We need you to fry that chicken. Right. But we don't want you saying nothing, no, please. So.
Anybody else? We got a couple comments. So go ahead.
So TJ says, minus the subject matter on this one, I expect this to be an interlude on uses for even 808s and heartbreak with how dark this one gets. Then he adds he'll be at the next one, so he's not blowing up the chat.
I love it. We're popping out here today.
Brittany adds, interesting point about keeping all kids safe in the patriarchy. I like that.
Cool. Anything else before we go to the next one? All right. So we are now. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Justin just commented, closed on Sunday, you're my Chick-fil-A. Is this implying the temptations of life that we want to do but can't?
I think so. I think so. If you look at the whole concept of Chick-fil-A, their idea of being closed on Sunday, that's their Sabbath. And
when do I always want to
right, when do I want chicken? On Sunday. And then you look at the whole aspect of them being in the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta. NFL Sunday, they're not there. They might be losing money. And the temptation of just capitalism and just going after money, they're saying, no, we got to honor something.
And in doing so, their lines be longer than all the other
Exactly.
spots that's open on Sunday.
Exactly.
And I like the way he jokingly played around with it too, like he wasn't so serious about it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I was throwing. Go ahead, Michelle. You was gonna say something?
No.
Okay. Michelle has strong feelings about Chick-fil-A.
These are things. Lots of people do.
Yeah. No, and they're more. I eat there. It's like self-hating me.
Those waffle fries are banging.
Yeah.
It's just like it sucks.
Love listening to your wisdom. Smart combo.
Okay. So we are going to transition to song number 5, On God. Muting.